Welcome to Hardback Life. It's time for stories, sass, and strong opinions. Let's turn the page. I'm Cassie.
And I've lost my mind. It's just one of those nights, everyone. Buckle up.
It is.
And the topic is
It's a fun. I'm excited.
top tier. Actually, fun fact, when I was like reorganizing all of our like information or whatever, I went through like episode topics and like kind of revamped everything. And one of them like was this. Like one of them was like spiritual growth and personal
I
like
saw that.
discovery of spirituality and all of that stuff. So also I realized I'm talking about this and we have not said anything
We haven't
about
even
what
said
this
what we're
episode
talking about
is.
yet. Well, let's catch up
Yeah.
before we go there.
What's happened in the last week? Not really a lot.
No, but let's talk some bookish news because I have a couple things.
Okay.
One, the CEO of Barnes& and Nobles said that he's not opposed to selling AI books. You should be. You should be opposed, sir.
So
I wasn't happy about that.
I don't know. This is how I feel. Okay. I don't know. It's very difficult for me because what I want to say is you do you, right? About stuff like this because
Mhm.
I feel like AI specifically has become very political, which like valid. Like I can understand why because it connects to a lot of political movements, a lot of like issues in the world, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
So that's why I struggle with just saying like you do you. And again, I also struggle with it because like there are certain facets that like I use it for. Oh,
So, but you're not making my thing is there are authors out there who want their books, in stores that are working really hard on their craft. Like, I think when it comes to art, like AI should just be left out of it. That's
yeah.
kind of where I am. Like,
Yeah, like if you're making money off of it.
I just feel weird about it, I guess. I feel icky that people who are really like real humans who are trying, you know? And I just also think like, the movie I, Robot with Will Smith and AI and robots take over the world. Like, I'm convinced we're heading that way. So like
I'm
part of me is like
convinced we're headed in a
afraid.
lot of different directions. I just finished watching The Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah. I've said I won't read that or watch it, I guess, because I know it's too close to home.
The
It's too much.
show well, the show goes past the book. I think we talked about this in our banned books
Yeah.
episode. The show, like, I stopped watching it, and then, like, I don't know why I slept on that because
Forgot my fan was on.
I, like, picked it back up, and I just finished it, like, 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss. Like,
Have you
really
started
good.
the Testaments?
And I
Is
just
that what it's
started
called?
that last night.
Okay.
That is crazy because that and it's a book too, but they
Yeah.
changed a lot in the show, especially they changed the timeline of the show, The
Okay.
Testaments, because in the book, a lot more time has passed since the events of The Handmaid's Tale.
Okay.
In this one, it's only been, like, a couple years. That one's crazy because, like, that basically focuses on, like, the growing women of society, so, like, the young girls who are let's talk about, 12, 13 years old, okay?
Yeah.
And they're called plums, and they're basically in wife school, like, to be wives. And
Yeah.
when they get blessed with their period,
Mhm.
it's like
Bless. Okay.
that is like their
Also
it's crazy, like, that is their, like it's basically their ticket into society, and it's like,
I
they
hate that.
truly believe that because of, like, they've been brainwashed to believe that because of the fertility crisis and all of these things, that when they get their period, it's like, "God has blessed me and is gonna make me fruitful." Like,
Ugh.
I'm just like, they have a whole ceremony when they get their period, like, she, like, was so excited that, like, when she, like the main character, like, when she got it, I was like so,
Interesting.
anyway, that was a side quest.
Yeah.
Don't
All
know how
that
we
to
got
say,
there.
I just feel weird about AI in
Oh,
art. That's really it. I don't like so currently, I'm not gonna say the name of the book because I have no proof other than like rumors from Instagram and stuff that
uh,
a book I very, very much enjoy. There's two theories because this author does not show themselves on anything, on any social media. They don't do a book tour, nothing. The two rumors are it's a really well-known author who became controversial and can't now write under their own name or AI. And honestly, I really hope it's one because I'm gonna be upset if I don't want to prove that AI can do things better than humans. Like I want people to have, I would feel so guilty of I'd feel like I personally took money out of people's mouths. I've sent you like screenshots and I'm like, oh, look at this picture. And you go, it's AI. And I was like, oh shit. Like, I'm like, wow, look at this artist did this really cool thing. And you're like, that's fake. And I'm like, God damn it. Like, I'm trying to give people credit.
I definitely stand by the statement that, like, you're more gullible than I am.
Well, I know I am.
Like, you send me things and I'm like, "Cassandra, that is so obviously AI or obviously fake news. Like, what are you doing?" And you're like, "I didn't know."
Not so much fake news. I think I'm a little better at being like political fake news, I guess, but, like, my brother will say some crazy shit to me, and I will believe it. Like, it's been a thing since we were young. He would always just say the craziest shit, and I'd be like, "Wow, that's so interesting." And he's like, "Cassie, that's not real." And I was like, "Okay." You know what it is? It's not necessarily that I believe people, it's that I feel bad making them feel bad by disagreeing or being like, "No." You know what I mean?
Mm,
So, like, I'm just being kind.
you're a people pleaser.
I am. So, like, I might not believe you, but I will unless we're, like, arguing where I think I'm right, then forget it, all bets are off. But, like, if you're like, I learned today that there are 8 billion dog species in the world," I'd be like, "Wow, that's really cool," because I feel bad.
Hence why you believe and I'm not inviting this conversation because we're
Oh,
already at
no.
13 minutes and we need to move on to our topic. Actually, share what we're reading and then move on to our topic, but fuck, I forget what I was gonna say.
I don't know. I was excited to hear it.
What were you talking about? I just need a memory jogger.
How I, like, not necessarily believe people when they tell me crazy shit,
Oh,
I just feel bad.
this is why you believe conspiracy theories.
All conspiracy theories. I believe very select conspiracy theories, ones that I concur with.
There's still no evidence. So that's what makes it a conspiracy theory.
No, no, no. The one that I wholeheartedly believe, and I won't say on here, there is literal proof. Yes.
You're
Actual base.
literally never gonna let this die, are you? Like, from peer-reviewed
No.
sources.
I'm a peer and I reviewed my sources, yes.
That actually was the best comeback actually ever. I'm a peer and I've reviewed my sources. I'm gonna start saying that.
I
That's
mean,
great.
I did. I reviewed them.
Anyway, what are you reading?
So I'm actually really excited about what I'm reading right now. I'm reading Girl Interrupted,
Okay.
which is an old well, it's a memoir, but it's also a movie. Winona Ryder was in it. It's about this girl who you would probably find this really interesting too. She goes to, like, less than an hour session with a new psychiatrist, and this was I forget when this happened, but, like, mid-1900s, I think. She goes to a new psychologist or psychiatrist, and she's talking about, like, her depression and anxiety and whatever, and he goes, "You need a rest." And she goes, "Yeah, probably." And he's like, "Okay, I have a bed for you." And she goes, "Okay, maybe Friday, like, I have to get to work, like, I have things to do." And he goes, "No, you need to go now." And she ends up, like, locked in a hospital for, like, years.
Oh my god, no.
Yeah, and it's a true story.
No.
Yeah. So the writing is super interesting because it's about her experiences there,
That's
but it's very
crazy.
jumpy. And it's only like 150 pages, but it's
Okay.
like very jumpy. Like she goes from telling
Are you reading it or
like
are you listening to it?
I'm reading that.
You're reading it. Okay.
Yeah. My Libby didn't have it on audio. What I'm listening to, finally, I've been wanting to get to this book, is the Mr. Rogers.
I saw that on Goodreads actually. Now that you say that, it
Yeah.
reminded me that I saw that.
Yeah. It's
Fun.
so cute. I think just listening, like we've already known Mr. Rogers was such a good person. His entire family was that way though. Like
Aw. Wait, weren't
they
there rumors at one point that he was a pedophile?
I didn't hear that.
Alright, well then that's fake news.
Why are you ruining this for me?
It might be a conspiracy theory that he's a pedophile, I don't know.
Well, this peer reviewed that source and I don't like it. So no, his whole family was like that. Like they semi-adopted like a kid in a French orphanage and just sent money for like his education and things over there. And they wanted to bring him over, but the orphanage was like, I don't know, like he has so much promise. Like I think he should stay here. And they were like, okay, we'll just fund him from afar. Like we'll love him from afar. They adopted his little sister. Like they genuinely just like she pretty much gave the school like the family account and was like, if you ever have families that need like things, just order it on our account,
Oh my
basically. Like
god.
they were just genuinely all of them. And I hope I don't say this and then like years later we find out some horrible shit. But like they just did so many good things. Like his parents, his sister, him. It wasn't just him that was like a good person. He loved it.
Mr. Robert I almost said Mr. Roberts. Mr. Rogers is just like it's just so cute.
I love that man.
So cute.
I think he's why I have an obsession with old people. Like I
That
love
makes
him.
sense.
I think that's where it stemmed from.
Who do they say? Oh, like,
Beautiful
they've said,
thing
like,
in the
Miss Rachel's
neighborhood.
the new age Mr. Rogers or
No.
something. Is
Oh,
is it Miss Rachel? I don't know.
I don't know, but I disagree with that
Maybe it
wholeheartedly.
wasn't Miss Rachel. I don't know. I'm just like tonight.
No.
Okay. I'm reading. Actually, I've been really reading. Um,
I couldn't
wait, what were you gonna say?
thought you were gonna say ping-ponging, and I was like, "Well, I could never tell with your energy that you can't settle."
I have been ping ponging, but so I read. Maybe I talked about this last time. Her Last Breath,
I forget if we talked about it.
but I finished that and I gave it 4 stars. It was good. I really liked it.
I think you gave it 5. I thought I remembered seeing
Wait,
5.
you're right. I did give it 5. It was just
Yeah,
really good. Like it just like took off and
yeah,
it wasn't like the best like all-time 5-star book ever, but like I feel
yeah.
like it probably was more than a 4.5, but I don't really like
I don't yeah, we don't really do halves.
yeah. So yeah, I gave it a 5.
Yeah, you know what's so funny about that book is it's our book club book. I cannot fucking find it anywhere. I think did I say this last time? I tried. Guys, I belong to 3 libraries. 3. I had a Barnes& and Noble's gift card, so I went to Barnes& and Noble. Even Barnes& and Noble didn't have this friggin' book. None of the libraries had the book, and
I think
I
it's
just
crazy that like several libraries of yours didn't have the book.
yeah, and what is the Philadelphia library? Like, Philadelphia is
That's
free for
crazy.
if you live in PA, fun fact, as long as you have a PA address, you can belong to the Philadelphia library. They didn't even have a book. Yeah,
Yeah, what the fuck are we doing? Like, it shouldn't be this hard to get a fucking book.
right? Is it that good? Like, and it's not like it had, like, a
I
several
mean,
month
like,
wait. They just didn't have it, period.
hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you said something and my brain is really just not on tonight,
You're
apparently.
just thriving.
I'm really doing great. Anyway. I was just gonna say, like, long story short, typical thriller.
Yeah.
People die.
You did a review on Instagram.
Yeah, yeah, that post didn't really do well. That made me
I think
sad.
collectively, I've seen people post that, like, reviews don't do that great, which is so funny because, like,
Hmm.
wouldn't you want
But it's
like, isn't that a
interesting
big
because I
part of
just did
it?
the Emily Henry ones the other day, and those, like, got, like, 23 likes.
Sorry, my dog is inverted sneezing right now. Can you hear it? Yeah.
That's what Zelda looks like when she sneezes.
I just stop. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah,
Anyway,
sometimes they do better, and sometimes reviews really don't do that well at all.
yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah.
It was fun to post. Anyway,
I meant.
so yeah, I finished that, and then I was waiting. I was first in line for a Libby hold that I had, because I unsuspended it, and so I was first in line, and then I decided while I waited for that because it didn't come through as quickly as I thought it was going to. I picked up a Frida McFadden, so I read Dear Debbie. Sarah
I've
read it
heard good things
too.
about that.
Yeah, I liked it. I gave it a 4.
You
Really,
know,
I should have I don't know. I didn't feel like it was as good as Her Last Breath, so that's why I went with 4.
mm. Sometimes when you read the same genre so close together, you're like, "Well, I didn't like it as much as that."
Yeah. So, but
Yeah.
no. Well, I was also comparing it to another book that Frida McFadden wrote that I did give 5 stars to,
Mm,
and it didn't like live up to that. So that's kind of how I scaled it.
yeah.
So
On
yeah, go ahead.
NetGalley, my current 2 that I'm waiting to find out if I get, one is a Frida McFadden
Oh yeah, I
and
saw
one
that
is a
today.
BK Borison. Fingers crossed. I
I
got the
hope you
last
get
BK
them.
Borison I applied for, but I did not get the last Frida McFadden. I tried to apply for the surrogate, but that
Mm,
was, like, right when I came on, like, doing ARCs.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, I hope
fingers
you get
crossed.
those.
I know, I'm excited.
But yeah, it was good. I mean, honestly, like good Frida McFadden. The main character was nuts.
I love a crazy
Yeah, it was good. And then
my life, but in a book.
yeah, it's basically like about this woman who writes an advice column and just shit goes down. Honestly, like you just find out a bunch of stuff and you're like, "Oh my god." And then after that, my book still was not ready. So I picked up The House of the Cerulean Sea. I don't know if you've heard of this.
I don't think I have.
So I don't remember how I heard of it. It's been on my TBR for a really long time. I mean, honestly, all
Mhm.
of the books on my TBR have been on there for like a while.
Feel that.
But this is about it is a fantasy, but it's almost like a contemporary fiction fantasy thriller situation. It's just an interesting like mesh of genres. So
Okay.
the premise of it is that this guy is employed by the Department of Magical Youth. And his job, he's a caseworker, and his job is to visit orphanages that house magical youth and to determine whether or not like they're still functioning appropriately. And then he makes the decision whether or not the orphanage stays open or not. So his company, like higher management, who are literally in the book called Extremely High Management or Extremely Higher Management. It's like, anyway, so he gets summoned by higher management and they basically say, we have like a really serious job and like you are a very detailed caseworker. So we trust you to go on this job. And basically, he gets sent to an island, and on the island, there are a certain number of like incredibly magical youth, but like they're kind of dangerous. Like, for context, one of the youths is the devil's child. So he is going in to see how the orphanage is functioning and whether or not it's like appropriate for the staff, the children, and like the orphanage itself. Like, is it still functioning appropriately?
You're gonna have to text me the name of this. It's interesting.
It's really good. Like, I
Yeah.
really like it. And there was a quote that I sent Maddie the other day from it, and I like loved the energy. And it kind of goes with what we were talking about earlier about like kind of the Handmaid's Tale and shit. But it says, I don't pretend to know the minds of men, she said, hands tightening on the steering wheel as a woman on the sidewalk appeared to shield her chubby, squawking children away from the car. They fear what they don't understand, and that fear turns to hate for reasons I'm sure even they can't begin to comprehend. And since they don't understand the children, since they fear them, they hate them. This can't be the first time you've heard of this. It happens everywhere. So that's kind of like the premise. And I really am liking it.
Sounds very interesting.
Then, as I got in about 20% into that book, my hold came through.
Of course it did.
So I put that down, and now I am reading Happy Place by Emily Henry.
Oh, that's fun.
And I really like it.
Anyway, 30 minutes in.
Seriously, 30 minutes in.
No,
And we
we'll
haven't,
have to edit that down. It's fine. It
yeah,
won't
we
be
haven't even
30
hit the
minutes,
topic, but no, I mean, yeah, people probably get on here and are like, I wanted to hear about the book. Like, these girls just talk for 30 fucking minutes.
sorry.
Oops. Okay, so episode today is
More
one that,
about an author than a book.
yeah, that's fair. We should like advertise it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's more about an author who's written 3 books. I just really support Laura Lynne Jackson. That's who we're talking about today. If you know what, here's the thing. If you're listening to this episode, you're a very specific kind of person in the best way.
Mhm.
Like, this is a very like
You're
niche,
our kind of person.
yeah, like this is a
That
niche
makes you feel good.
episode.
I
Like,
hope it does.
yeah, like if you like came across this and found this episode, it's because like either you just really like us and you've been around from the beginning and you're just like dedicated to listening to our episodes, which like
So our moms and
people
my
who are
father-in-law.
the people who are out there. No, I think we have some people who regularly listen.
We do. The day the episode goes up, we get a solid like 8 in the first couple
Yeah,
hours, and I think
and
it's
it's
the
cute.
same like 8.
I'm good with that.
I know. I think it's cute. I
It
love
is.
it.
But anyway, so it's either that or you saw her name and you
Mhm.
were like, oh, I know who that person is. And if you know who Laura Lynne Jackson is, you've either read her books or you really are a special kind of person.
Yeah.
Not that if you haven't read Laura Lynne Jackson's books that you're not a special person, but also like if you've ended up
There's
here because
different
you like
specialties.
recognize the name and you were like, oh, I've been meaning to like check her out, you're
Mhm.
also probably that special kind of person.
Yeah, everybody's special, but there's
Actually,
just different reasons.
you know what? The statement I'm going to make, if you have found our episode today and you're listening to it, something led you here. Like,
To quote Laura Lynne Jackson, there are no coincidences.
no. So you were led here. You were supposed to listen to our episode today. So welcome. And I'm glad that you sat through 30 minutes of our stupidity.
Hopefully one of us has edited that down.
Yeah. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, so Laura Lynne Jackson's written 3 books. I have read 2 of them. Cassie has read 2 of them. So we've both read the
No,
same
you've
2.
read 3.
I haven't finished it.
Oh, that's right,
I'm
that's right.
currently reading the last one, and the only
Yes.
reason it's taken me this long, honestly, and it's like a stupid excuse. This one I just haven't finished because it's a physical book, and
I
it
get
takes
that.
me a long time. Like these days, like I'm just like a Kindle person. Like
I get
I
that.
read at night or in
Yeah.
bed. Like I want to be like comfortable while I'm reading,
Mhm.
and that's why I like my physical books are reserved for like during the day, like while I'm like casually sitting on the couch.
I read there, but I still like my Kindle.
Yeah, like Kindle's it's just good. Anyway, so yeah, 3 books. The first one was The Light Between Us. And the second one was Signs. And
That's the 2 we've both read.
correct. And then
Yeah.
the last one, which I am like halfway through, Cassie has not started at all, is Guided.
I have it on hold at Libby, I think. Like,
Oh,
I'm waiting for
amazing.
it.
So let me just I'll give the summaries, a little context about each of them. So The Light Between Us is basically about Laura Lynne Jackson and her journey. And we haven't said it yet, but Laura Lynne Jackson is a certified psychic medium. And I say certified because she is actually certified by
2.
organizations.
Yeah. Like, she can help with, like, criminal investigations.
Yeah, like if that doesn't tell you that like if she's allowed to help with criminal investigations, if that doesn't tell you that like this is legit, like I don't.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing, like how many investigations is she getting called to consult on? I have no idea.
I wanna say in The Light Between Us, she talked about one.
Okay. I mean, that's sick. Like
Pretty
that's really
sure.
cool.
Yeah. That's, like, my dream,
Yeah, that would be so cool.
but, like, I can't connect to the other side, so it's
Yes, you can. Everyone
okay.
can. We'll get there
Okay,
later.
well, with my tarot cards, but not, like, they don't come to me like that, you know what I mean?
So that one, the little synopsis, and we pulled majority of these from her website. So it's either like from
Mhm.
her, she's speaking in first person, or she's like talking in third person, like referring to herself as like Laura Lynne Jackson or whatever. Those I think were obviously not written by her, but some of these are direct quotes. So she says, like my life, the light between us is a voyage from darkness to light. It tells the story of the journey I took toward understanding my true purpose in the world and the ways we are all connected to each other, both here and on the other side. And then Signs is about, and this one is like a more of a summary. Jackson is able to bring the mystical into the every day. She relates stories and people who have experienced uncanny revelations and instances of unexplained synchronicity, as well as others drawn from her own experience. There's the lost child who appears to his mother as a deer that approaches her hesitantly at a highway rest stop. Like, there's so many different
I
stories
love that
here.
story.
So it's really just about like the magic of the universe and the signs that can
Mhm.
come from the other side. And the third book is Guided, and it's really about living an illuminated life, is what Laura Lynne Jackson calls it. And so here's like the little blurb from her website. It's who am I really? Why am I here? And how can I more fully understand my connections to others and the world around me? And how does that understanding reveal the magic the universe has to offer? According to Laura Lynne Jackson, to answer these questions is to live an illuminated life. So that is what living an illuminated life is understanding who you are, why you're here, and understanding the connections that you have to other people and all the things.
Yeah.
So obviously genre self-help, psychology, and spiritual nonfiction. It's
Nonfiction.
nonfiction.
Yeah.
And then Cassie can tell you about some of her certifications and
I knew you were
organizations
gonna
she's
do
with.
that, and this one has so many R's that it feels targeted, but I'm
Okay,
gonna try it.
I can
No,
do
I'm
it.
gonna try it. I'm
Okay.
gonna try it. Windbridge Research Center certified medium. Had marbles in my mouth, but I got it out.
I
And
heard
then
you struggling, but it was
that was hard.
okay.
And then she's FFF medium certification. It's the Forever Family Foundation.
There it is.
Um, in order to work with the Forever Family Foundation, so she works separately with both the Windbridge Research Center and the Forever Family Foundation, and then the Rhine Research Center. The Forever Family Foundation is run by a husband and a wife, or was started by, I don't know if they're still there, but was started by a husband and wife who just bring people in who want to connect with loved ones specifically, but not only children that have been lost. Like if a couple or parent has lost a child, they want to help you connect with them, get some closure, know that you're not alone. Like they're still there, they're okay because they lost a child. So that's what the Forever Family Foundation is. And in both of these, she had to go through long, and she goes over this in The Light Between Us. Like she really breaks down everything, but she has to like blind read people, meaning like they literally just sit in front of her, don't say the name, don't react to anything. And she just writes down everything that comes to her. And then later they have to grade how she did.
And
And
they
she has
have like procedures and like rules and things put in place where like they ensure that she has no contact with this person
yes.
like in advance, like not even on social media. Like she goes into the details of like what like rules and regulations she had to follow and like what
Yeah.
was put in place.
And like the listeners or the sitters, I forget how she referred to them, but they're also trained. Like they're trained to give nothing away, like no movements, no reactions. Like they're trained to just sit there and listen. So it's really, I found that the most interesting part of The Light Between Us, other than when she was sharing the stories, obviously.
So
Like I've always wondered how you become like a better, I guess, medium
Well,
or
and I
like a
don't even think
legit
it's about
medium.
being a better medium. I think it's just
And like more like ones who are like
credible.
sought out. Yeah,
Yes,
credible.
like
Thank
more
you. Credible.
credible. No, I appreciated that about that book as well. And I also think what I appreciated about the first book was and I'm not going to like give it away, but the butterfly story.
I loved signs.
Uh, that was that wasn't in Signs. That was in
Oh,
The Life
yeah, yeah,
Between
yeah.
Us.
I was thinking of a different yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, like her
I
experience.
That's just when the person shared it, like, with her, literally breathtaking. Like, I wanna experience that.
Yeah,
It's more than just one butterfly, guys. We don't wanna give away because we want you to read it, but, like, it's more than just one butterfly.
yeah, like a horde.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Like, all the butterflies, literally.
It's literally wild. Since we are talking about her as an author, and this isn't really like per se a book review. I mean, it kind of is, but like not really.
Mhm.
I thought it was appropriate to structure the episode around just like her main points
Yeah.
and really like what she believes, like based on the work that she has done. So, a couple points that we can work through. And the first one is the idea of universal connection,
Mhm.
which I wholeheartedly believe in, that we are all connected by a shared energy. Jackson believes every person is put on earth to act as a connector and that everyone has the innate ability to perceive the energy and messages of the spiritual realm. So that's where my comment came in about you saying that you can't talk to the other
Yeah.
side. I said we all technically
No.
are capable.
Yes, I agree with that. Like, I fully believe, like, you can connect to other people or the other side, sorry. Like, I have sometimes have dreams that feel so real, like with my dad. It was either the night he passed or the next day, I forget. Like, the night he passed or the next night. I was there when it happened, so, like, I didn't miss it or anything. But I had a dream and my phone was ringing, and it was my dad, and I was like, that's so weird, like, he's dead. Like, in my dream, I knew he was dead, like, everything felt so real, and I picked up and he goes, "Hey, Peanut," because that's what he called me, and I was like, "Hey, Dad," and he was like, "How are you?" And I said, "How are you?" Like, I was so confused, and he's like, "I'm really good. I just wanted to let you know I'm good and I'm home," and I
Wait, shut the
woke
fuck up.
up.
I don't know if you've ever told me that.
Yeah, it was either the day
I know you've
I
told me
wrote
that
it
you
down.
had dreams about him, but I don't know if you like actually went into detail.
Yeah, it's a hard like, I'm so glad I had that dream, and I shared it with my sister and my uncle, and, like, they were both very glad that I said it. It's not the easiest to talk about. I mean, now it's 3 years, like, I've come a long way with it, but it's one that I really hold, like, very close to me, like, it did I woke up and I felt, like, this weird sense of, like it's, like, this calm energy about it. Literally looked and like, I checked my phone. I was like, "There's no way that really happened." Like, I really thought
That
my phone
happened.
rang and I had this conversation, like, it was the realest thing, like, I could've I swear, like, it's such a weird one, you know? Like, it's the most specific one I've had about him, but, like, that one really got me. Fully believe that everybody has that capability to do it. It's just how open you are to it, and that's I get a little frustrated because 'cause I'm so effing open to it. Like, I ask for it all the time, but I don't get it as much as I would appreciate. Well, yes, I've always been very open to it. It's just finding my language with it, I think,
I
now.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Actually, I'll tell the story of what happened to me today. I went on a run
Mhm.
because I'm training for a high rocks because I'm one of those people, yes. And so I was on my run and I was on like my second like lap of
Mhm.
my like plan. I use like an app to help me like pace me and stuff. And I was on like my last section or whatever of the run and I had to run and hold 8 minutes. And that, I mean, the longest I've held is 6 minutes without stopping
Mhm.
thus far at like a conversational pace. And I was just really struggling at the end. Like I really just like didn't I walked longer than like the plan told me to and yada yada yada. And so I I've always been somebody who has to work out or run to like hype music or like
Mhm.
really like high energy pop or whatever. And so I was like, I really need something to like get me through like the last bit of this run. And I was like, and Nicki Minaj, it ain't doing it. So
Mhm.
I turned on the song that I always like to listen to when I want to connect or like think about like our daughter.
Mhm.
And as soon as I turned it on, as I was getting ready to like walk, there was like a blue jay that flew right in front of me. And I have like a decoy blue jay that my grandpa like had carved. And so
Mhm.
that was like, you know, that was more me. Like that was kind of
Yeah.
something like I like really attached to. And so that was really neat. And I literally out loud said like, "Oh, thanks, grandpa." And then I like just like kept running. And so that's one. And then the other one that's recently happened to me was Julia and I were like having a chat at her house one day. We were hanging out and we were talking about signs. And her sign has always been butterflies, and that's like universally like a sign for me as well. But she was like
Yeah.
the other day, like I was asking for like cardinals, like I changed it up. And as she said that, like a cardinal flew in front of my car. And
Mhm.
then on my way home, I saw two butterflies. So I texted her and I was like, "Hey, I just want to let you know, like, this happened."
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh my gosh, like that's crazy." I don't know how we ended up getting on. This is kind of more on the path of signs, but like it makes
We were
sense.
just talking about our own, like, connections that we have or
Yeah,
we've,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
worked.
Um, no, I think like I have yeah, like I've just experienced things that there's no coincidence. And
Yeah.
like I'm not going to go into like detail about all of the things that I've experienced, but like recently somebody asked me what led you to your beliefs. Actually,
Mhm.
Julia asked me when we were talking about it. And I said, it started out just like exploring like different like people like in the spiritual community, and I was led to Laura Lynne Jackson. And then I, further explored the spiritual community, and I did like practices myself. I did sessions with spiritual teachers and things like that. And so really honestly, I should have answered that question with just like experience and curiosity is how
Yeah.
I've gotten to my beliefs. Like I was curious enough to explore different perspectives. I was curious enough
Yeah.
to try things myself and like throw myself in and like really just like give it my all. And I think it benefited me in the long run.
Yeah, I agree. Another thing that Laura Lynne Jackson is really big on is teams of light. So every individual has a constant spiritual support system consisting of God energy, spirit guides, angels, and deceased loved ones. These guides constantly steer us toward our highest paths and orchestrate events for our benefit. I fully agree with that. I do the pendulum. And again, it took me a little bit to get back into it after losing my dad, but eventually I did. And one of the first things you're supposed to ask the pendulum is about, like, I mean, not supposed to, but one of the first things I asked the pendulum about was a spirit guide, like who my main, guide was. And it does. I used a map that was in a book that I was reading, and it gives you options like an ancestor I never met, a family member, or whatever, an angel. And mine said grandparent, or no, mine said family member. And then I asked the yes or no question, is it my dad? And it said no. And I was like, that's weird. And I was like, "Is it grandpa?" And I have 2 deceased grandpas, but one always went by grandpa and one went by pop. So, like, very specifically meant grandpa. And I think about grandpa very randomly, like, in a very different way than I think about my pop. Like, it just feels like a different energy when I think about my grandpa.
Okay.
And I had more time with my pop. So I didn't, I always thought it was odd, the kinda energy I get when I think about my grandpa. And my grandpa was this old Italian man, like 100% Italian, and I said, "Grandpa, are you sure?" And it said, "Yeah." I was like, "Grandpa, like dad's dad?" Like I wrote down every question in the way I asked it because I was
Wait,
like,
but wasn't that one drawing that you got at that spiritual expo, didn't it look
"Yes,
like
I
him?
literally actually have it right here. Hold
Oh my
on,
god,
guys."
yes.
So a few months, I guess, went after my dad died, just to like a wellness health fair, whatever. And I went to this artist who draws your spirit guide, and it's crazy. Like I think mostly looks like my grandpa, but other people say they see my dad. But like my grandpa and my dad look the same. So the ears are my dad's ears because they're huge. Everything else is my grandpa. Like, I don't know if you could see it. Oh, you can. So like I'll have to put a picture of like my grandpa there, but like it's actually insane how much this like looked like my grandpa.
That
Except that ear right there is my dad's. That's his big ass ear right
uh-huh.
there.
That's the first thing I saw when that person started drawing. I was like,
Me too.
"Shut up." Um, so yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah.
And I think but you know what? So this is like a great topic. So I think that her concept of teams of light, and she's not the only person
No.
that I've talked to about teams
Yeah.
of light and this concept. But it really, I think it hit home for me because I always struggled with believing that there was only one higher power, one ultimate. I don't believe that. And I never found a concept that I felt like allowed me to like understand that. and allowed me to recognize that there's multiple things going on. And I think that her description of a team of light made me much more comfortable with the term God.
Mhm.
And so when I refer to God, that's one person, that's one piece of the afterlife for me.
Yeah.
That's not the only piece. Like, God is not the only person that I pray to. Like, he is not the only one that I think about or ask for signs
Mhm.
from. Like, majority of the time it's my family members or like my guides. Like, I believe that there is like higher power, but I don't think it's just one. And so I
Yeah.
appreciated her concept of the team of light.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Uh, we kind of touched on signs like as a language,
Like a
like
lot, actually.
yeah, a lot. So, like the universe communicates with us through symbolic everyday signs, such as reoccurring numbers. Coins are a big one, specific animals, or meaningful synchronicities. You do not need to be a psychic to ask to receive these signs. So,
I did do that once. I asked for a cannoli because it was my dad's favorite. So I asked for a cannoli, and I think I was watching YouTube, and a commercial for, like, a random cannoli cake recipe
yep,
came up, and I was like, "The fuck?"
I love
Like,
it.
not how I thought that would happen, but okay.
Yeah, like I think it's funny,
That
but
was
it
the only
makes
time I
sense.
asked for something, like, specific, though.
Well, it makes sense that it was TV because, like,
Yeah.
there are people who talk about that, like, electricity and like energy,
Yes.
like, can be manipulated. So,
Mhm.
so we talked about signs a lot. And then she talks about the transformation of grief. So Jackson believes that physical death does not end a relationship with a loved one, but rather transforms it. Love transcends the physical plane and communication is ongoing if we remain open and receptive. I
Yes.
think this is why I got really far deep into my spirituality and understanding of like the greater universe and like what's beyond because and I think when I got to a point where I accepted that a relationship could continue, that's when I healed.
Mhm.
But it's different for everyone. But that really helped me through my loss. And so I think that's why
Yeah.
I dove in.
Yeah, that's something I've grown up, like, hearing or talking about, like, my great-grandmother comes to us as, like, a butterfly. We always say that when we see butterflies, "That's great Nana," you know what I mean? So it's something I've always acknowledged or I've always had relevant in my life is that, like, they're still with us, but I guess I never really did too much deep diving into it, and like I said, I had started working on that kinda stuff before my dad got sick and then took the hold. So now I'm really investing in it in a different way. If like it has more meaning because I'm trying to like really reconnect that way, you know? Yeah. I really want to see I've never seen a medium. Like I would really like to have that experience.
If you would like a recommendation, I have one.
My therapist actually gave me one.
Amazing.
She was like and she really really liked her. She was like she will not even let you say anything. Like she does not want information. She does not want to accidentally hear anything. Like she wants to just read
So
you.
the one that we went to in order for that boundary, we were only allowed to answer questions with yes or no.
Yeah. Apparently she doesn't. I mean, granted maybe it's just that experience. I don't know,
And
but she was
more of
like
the
she
questions
doesn't
were
want
just
you.
like, "Do you understand this?"
Yeah.
Which, like, I've seen, like, in some of the videos of, like, Laura Lynne Jackson reading for
Mhm.
people. I've seen, like, other, like,
Well,
people as
and
well, but that
Laura Lynne Jackson says, like, sometimes it's, like, the most random thing, like, the person on the other side will show me, like, an apple, and she's like, "I don't know what that apple means, but I'm gonna tell the person sitting in front of me that they're showing me an apple," and sometimes it resonates with them right away, and they know exactly why I'm seeing this apple. Sometimes it never makes sense, and sometimes it takes a day, and they'll email me and be like, "Oh my gosh, I remember that story about the apple, like, now I get it." She's like, sometimes they also don't know the best signs to give, like, it's a language they're figuring out too.
yeah,
So kinda interesting.
I think understanding that it's a language is really
Yeah.
important, like, that it's not that's not always perfect, and sometimes I also really enjoyed this concept that was posed to me, and this is not like a Laura Lynne Jackson, this has nothing to do with her books.
Mhm.
But this was a concept that was posed to me by the medium that my mom and I saw, who was recommended
Okay.
to me by an incredibly trusted spiritual practitioner. Like when I say like incredibly trusted, incredibly trusted.
Mhm.
I don't mess around with like who I allow like to like really like read me.
Yeah.
Um I'll get tarot readings and things like that, but I'm very specific on that. And so I went to her and she posed this concept of how we are here on earth and what decisions that we make and, whether positive or negative, when we die and we do our life review, like there may be things that we have to like reconcile with. And so it takes like energetic work to get back to a point where you are ready to commit to a new soul.
Mhm.
And I was like, huh, like that's like a cool concept,
Yeah.
like that. I align with that, like pieces of that. I think
I think
sometimes like things are like, I think certain energies are stronger than others, like depending
Mhm.
on what karmic things they're
Yeah.
dealing with there.
I think we talked the last episode too. I had brought up Laura Lynne Jackson, and she said like there are almost like doors that like a soul can take, and your soul, like though you could see maybe not the exact path that you're gonna get,
You get
but
like a
she talks about
blueprint.
she talks about like kids who die young, like they know their life is gonna be short. And they can choose another life that might be longer, but the life that they chose is so full of love. Like they went there because they wanted to learn what that unconditional, like true love felt like. And that's why they chose the shorter path. Whereas, like, their longer path might have been harder. They might have not had that kind of love in their lives. So it's interesting that you said, like, somebody else mentioned that same exact thing. Like, it's you again, I don't remember. Maybe she did talk about the time in between, like, how long it takes for your soul to be ready to choose a new path, but, like, she did say especially, people question why children pass younger, and, like, apparently and I'll say apparently for anybody listening, because there's
Yeah,
no
like I'm not
scientific evidence,
also, like,
I
I'm not
guess.
I'm not speaking these as facts. Let's
Yes,
make that very
exactly.
clear. I am
Yeah.
not out here, like, saying that this is, like, 100% true, and here's the evidence
Yes.
in which I can provide you, like, that this is just from my own and
Mhm.
Cassie, and you can say it, like, I'll leave Cassie to say what she wants, but, like, this is only based on my own personal experiences and connections and beliefs and that I believe in. Like, this is
Yeah.
my world. Like, I am not saying that this has
Yeah.
to be yours.
And we're talking about Laura Lynne Jackson, so we're sharing hers as well. And I just thought that was such an interesting, like, idea because I always hated something that always got to me was during hard times. And maybe it's the wording that got to me was like, there's a reason for this. Everything happens for a reason. This is God's plan. God has a reason for everything. I can't understand that. But to think like they had the choice prior to coming into their body of like, I know there's gonna be suffering, but, like, it's gonna be so outweighed with love, or, like, I know that this is gonna happen, but it's something I need to learn, like, having a say in the things that are gonna happen to you, like, yes, maybe you don't have great doors to go through, but you know you need to learn something, and that's why you're going through this harder door, you know? It gives you more autonomy, I feel like, or gives your soul more autonomy of to, like, it's not somebody else's plan, like, this is you're choosing it for
Well,
yourself.
and I have two comments to that if I can remember it by the time I get there. So the first one is that I really align with because I had a lot of those questions.
Yeah.
And I think what I would say based on my understanding and my beliefs is that God really can't be everywhere.
Mhm.
Our guides can't be everywhere. Our loved ones who have died can't be everywhere all the time. And so, unfortunately, when we get here, no matter what blueprint we're given, we have materialistic physical control to change the path.
Mhm.
And that is out of the hands of the higher power. Like, I believe that we also have choice. And sometimes there's just evil. Like, and I use evil like very lightly, but like sometimes there's just like
A negative
a
force or
negative
negative
like a
energy.
consequence
Yeah.
or a poor choice or just like something just is really 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 awful, like
Mhm.
whatever term you want to use. Some people may use the term that like devil, like whatever term, there is just stuff that happens that it wasn't supposed to happen ever,
Mhm.
and that's part of being human is
Yeah,
we come here with that risk.
I'd rather hear that than, like, "This is your plan, this is your path." Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, like I appreciate that concept because for me, that doesn't invalidate people who have experienced really awful things.
Mhm.
If, like, I don't know, like, I'm thinking of really intense things like murder.
Mhm.
unexplainable illness. Like cancer. Cancer's
Yeah.
awful. Like, I don't think that there's a greater purpose to that specific suffering. Like, I think that
Yeah.
that is earth business that
Yeah.
unfortunately is uncontrollable.
I agree. Like, I'll I'm not gonna go super into detail. I've mentioned on here before, Andrew was very sick for a while. Very sick. I would get so irritated, but I'd keep it to myself because I know it was always meant with kindness. I know that. But when somebody would say, God has a plan, this is God's plan for him. And I'm like, I explain the plan to me. Like it didn't resonate with me, I guess. And I for my own reasons, and I just to hear that there was a reason that this was happening, I think was what got me upset, like,
And
this
I
was a
think
planned.
that what that goes back to is our own understanding of the world,
Mhm. Yeah.
is our personal business.
We choose it. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yes. Like, if going to church works for somebody, go to church. If
Mhm.
going to yoga works for somebody, go to yoga. If sitting at home and listening to your loved one's favorite music works for you, do it.
Yeah.
Like, however you choose to find meaning in this life is up to you. And I
Mhm.
think that's where we lose touch with, like, it's okay to connect in whatever way you want. People don't
Yeah.
have to connect the way that you connect.
Yeah, and I think that especially Laura Lynne Jackson's book Signs, like, very much emphasized that, like, everybody's story she told connected with something different or somehow connected differently, you know? Even, like, a couple times she would be like, "Even this energy feels different," like, she describes the energy as, like, a light behind a screen, like, almost like a movie theater kind of screen, I think, and she's like, "But sometimes there's this light behind me," like, she's like, I think it was, one of the, Forever Family Foundations. She was like, "There was this light behind me the whole time." She was like, "I knew it wanted to connect with me, but it wasn't coming, and then as soon as it stepped into, like, my view, I was like, they wanted to be last. They wanted to wait until every other parent was gone because they didn't want their parent to feel guilty about it because it was a child, not a child, but, like, this parent's child. I think she was, like, 20, had committed suicide, and she said, "I didn't want you to feel like you did anything wrong, but I also didn't want other people to think it was something you did."
So, it's interesting. I experienced in going to the medium, she referred to that type of energy of a loved one after they've died as a pacer.
Mhm.
They're hesitant, like, they're in the
Yeah.
background, and they're not
Yeah.
they don't say anything unless their presence is accepted and acknowledged.
Mhm.
Like, they won't just come, like, come in hot. Like, they'll be
Yeah.
there, and then it's up to, like, the reader, like, how much they invite in and the person who's being read.
I think Laura talked about that, but this one specifically, like, she was gonna be heard, but she wanted to make sure the room was and the parent it's so f I mean, it's not funny, but, like, every other parent left, but she was still waiting. You know what I
Wow.
mean? Like, she knew to wait, like, she didn't leave yet. Everybody else had left, Laura and her were the only 2 in the room, and she was like, "I'm ready." Like, she's forward. She came to me now.
That's crazy.
You know what I Yeah, it was just yeah.
That's crazy.
We still haven't done the illuminated
I
life yet.
know. I can touch on that really quickly because I have
That's in Guided, right?
sorry, I just kicked something in my
It's
desk.
okay.
Yes, this is in Guided mainly,
Mhm.
and she talks about living
Illuminated.
an illuminated life, and in order to do so, staying open to spiritual guidance, trusting your intuition, noticing repetitive signs, we unlock a life of peace, purpose, and deep spiritual alignment. And I feel like that I kind of want to take back what I said earlier, I think off camera, that I was leaning towards like giving Guided a 4. I think I'm just like at a 4.5 right now because
Mhm.
pieces of it feel a little repetitive,
Okay.
which is okay. But I really do think that it's a good book for where I'm at right now with my own spiritual growth.
Okay.
So for that reason, that's why it's only half.
Mhm.
Um, so I'll probably still end up giving it a 5 if we're
Yeah, I'm
honest.
excited. Like I said, I'm waiting for Guided, and these are things, like, I'm working on, like, my trusting my intuition and looking at those signs, like, that is really what I'm personally working on. I think it's where a lot of people struggle is not noticing the signs, but recognizing that it is a sign. You know what
And
I mean? Like,
trying
everybody's like, "Oh, look, it's 11:11 or it's 4, but that's a sign. Like, those are you're meant to see those. Like we said at the beginning, there are no coincidences. Like, you are meant to hear what you hear. You're meant to see what you see, and, like, that I think in both the books I've read, at least so far, Like, she really tries to emphasize for people, like, don't overlook things,
Yeah.
you know? I love that.
Mm,
Did you so you gave her other 2 books, the first 2 5s, right?
I did.
I gave Signs a 5. I read Signs first, but I gave Signs a 5, and then I gave The Light Between Us 4 because I don't wanna be an asshole, but I didn't care so much to hear about, like, "I'm a great student. I'm great at this. I'm great at that." Like, I really just wanted to know about your like, the mediumship,
Mm.
your process of getting certified, and
No, like
hearing these stories.
I agree with that. Like I definitely like had feelings like that when I first like read
Yeah, like, she's like,
the
"I'm great
book.
at everything in school, and I'm good at
But
this, and I could have done this, like, I was gonna go to Harvard, and I don't care."
no, and I think it was just a piece of her journey and that she needed to share, and that's okay that it didn't hit with us. I
Yeah.
appreciate that she put it out there, but I
I still
agree.
need a 4.
Yeah.
Like, that's still a good rating.
No, I think that that's a fair justification. Like, it's just her
Yeah.
story. You didn't find a lot of connections in her personal story. There
Yeah.
probably are people that did, which is great.
I'm sure.
But yeah, no, I would agree, but I still gave it a 5. I didn't pull quotes.
I didn't either, and I'm looking at it, and you said share something that hit you hard, and, like, for me, it's just some of her stories I think hit harder than others. Like, there were just things that were said that were so beautiful that I cried, and they weren't sad tears, like, every tear I shed was, like, a happy tear because these people were reconnected. I guess I don't really know how to explain how it hit me hard unless you've read it. You know what I mean? Like, if you've read it, I feel like those stories also just hit you hard. If you've lost, or maybe it's if you've lost somebody you're close to, like maybe that's why they hit hard because it's just the reminder that they're still
I
with
think
us.
it's
Like,
the specific stories that relate closer to your specific loss, and I think she
well,
does.
some of them are the kids.
Yeah.
Like yes, the dad
Well,
ones
that
get me,
also makes sense
obviously,
because
but
of, like, who you are,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
so
So I think it's just you have to just yeah. I don't know. I think they're books you can't really just talk about. Like you got to read
you
them.
just gotta read it. Yeah, I agree. I would say the one that really stays close to home is there's a story in Signs where there are 2 mothers that lost children,
Mhm.
and basically it's the story of how their children's energies brought them
Ugh,
together.
killed me.
That was, you gotta read it. I don't really have,
Yeah,
like, an
and like
explanation of it.
the kids asked Laura, like, "I want my mom to see my new friend, like, can you show her?" You know? My god.
Yep.
That one got me.
Yeah.
That one got me.
I'm
And
not
you know which other ones that got me?
hmm.
Were when a spouse died and they connected and they were like the living spouse found somebody else. And there was like little connections and you find out later about how intertwined they were. And then Laura meets up with them and they're like, "Oh yeah, like your husband chose him for you." Like the 6 degrees of separation, like they were somehow knew of each other, whatever, and it was like the 6 degrees of separation,
So,
and I was like,
actually, I'm having, like, an epiphany right now. If we wanna take that situation, right,
mhm,
where it was like, "Oh my gosh, like, your husband chose him for you," okay? Andrew is screwed when you die because you're sending him no one.
I will send him nobody, and he will be happy about it.
Like, you've made it exponentially clear that you do not want him to find love if you were to
No.
die.
Okay, well, first of all, you don't need to put all my dirty laundry out there. I've since reading Laura Lynne Jackson, though, for real, because I've always been, like, weird about that. Like, how can people tell their spouse, "It's okay for you to love somebody after me?" Since listening to Laura Lynne Jackson, I have told Andrew
Mm.
he can date once I die. That being
I
said, I'm
stand
not
firm.
sending him anybody.
I stand firm on and Dylan and I have talked about this. If I died, Dylan would live it up. He would live the
Yeah.
bachelor life in the sense of, like, he wouldn't ever find somebody else, like, he
Yeah.
would just, like, ride out by himself, and that's what he would want, like, that's what he would want. If
Mhm.
he died, I probably would find somebody after him.
I
I don't think I would actively look for it,
mhm.
but if it happened to fall in my lap naturally, and I were to meet somebody organically, like, I
Mhm.
wouldn't go on, like, dating websites. I wouldn't go
Yeah.
to, like, dating events. Like, I would just, like, live my life, and if I happened to meet somebody, then
Yeah.
I did.
And I guess that's kind of, I guess, what I would do. It's what if Andrew's pretty much said he would do.
I don't know what we're doing on the next episode. We don't really, like
We don't do that anymore.
No,
We
we
just
just free ball it. We like pick
yeah.
a topic like the day before or honestly like the day of.
Yeah.
So this was a good one though.
Yeah,
I like
sometimes we get excited about something, it lasts the whole week, but that's not that often.
yeah, I'm a mood reader, so this works for me because like if
Mhm.
we plan something and I'm not in the mood to talk about it,
Yeah.
it's like painful. It's not
Like,
fun.
fourth wing we came up with, oh, like, a week in advance, and that stayed.
Yeah.
But that
Well,
was pretty
also it's
much it.
easy to talk about Fourth Wing because I like it.
Yeah, same.
So,
I mean, I like most of the books we talked about.
well, yeah, it's not like we're at. One thing I will mention for those of
Mhm.
you who listen to the episodes, um, I went in and organized our episodes into
Mm,
playlists on YouTube. So check those out because it brought my ADHD lots of joy doing
I
it.
love that for you.
Yeah, so we will treat you with whatever comes next based on whatever we're feeling like.
Pretty much.
So look forward to it. If you enjoyed this episode, like, comment,
Like,
follow, subscribe, whatever the word is, wherever you find this podcast. With that, until the next chapter, stay cunning, stay brave, and remember you are your own high lady.
bye, guys.
Bye.